this evening for the Grandview Wolves. Our principal, Dr. Lisa Roberts, athletic director Wes Smock, head coach Alex Smith and her assistant coaches, and the great students of our fine school would like to welcome each of you to Grandview Wolves Den for this evening's contest between our own Grandview Wolves and the Cherokee Trail Cougars. Introducing the starting lineup for the Cougars. Number 1, Abby Anderson. Number 3, Kenzie Winters. Number 5.
We'd like to welcome you back to GVTV for tonight's broadcast, a special one. Not only because it's Predators Cup between your Grandview Wolves and the Cherokee Trail Cougars, but because it is also my last one. We'd like to welcome you into GVTV. I'm Jake Chau, signing off for one last call, and what a game and what a treat we have on a beautiful Friday afternoon here from Legacy Stadium. Two teams in the Grandview Wolves and the Cherokee Trail Cougars who absolutely despise each other will be battling for the Predators Cup in what should be an excellent game. We're getting player introductions out of the way, and we'll get national anthem. We'll leave you be to let you listen for one last time. Once again, your Grandview Wolves versus the Cherokee Trail Cougars. The Predators Cup on the line. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a minute.
Number 6, Lauren Latshaw. Number 8, Amaya Costas. Number 9, Hannah Johnson. Number 18, Katie Uphouse. Number 20, Scarlett Rowland. Number 22, Caitlin Mitchell. Number 24, Eliza Monson. Number 25, Emma Foley. And in for goalie, number 77, Anastasia Russ. If you are able to, please rise for our national anthem.
So national anthem out of the way, player introductions, one last thing to do. Opening face-off just moments away. Again, the Predators Cup, a prestigious trophy between the two schools, and a historic rivalry as Grandview and Cherokee Trail will battle to see who will lift it at the end of the night. In the past 10 years, Grandview has had it 6 times, has a 6-3 record. Obviously, the 2020 COVID season, no one was awarded it. But last season, Cherokee Trail took it home off a 16-7 victory. But these two teams both evenly matched. As you can see the chant, and you can just see how energized they're going to come out tonight. Yeah. Cherokee Trail has had it each of the last 3 years. after a 16-7 win last year, a 17-16 absolute nail-biter in 2023, the year before last. And then 3 years ago, Cherokee Trail had it for the first time after a 15-5 victory. But we're getting ready here as we're going to switch sides here. Wolves will be in white, shooting from left to right. Cherokee Trail in their maroon red from right to left. As here we go. One last opening face-off. The Predators Cup is underway. Cherokee Trail winning the face-off. As a foul on Grandview. Clock continuing to run here. Cherokee Trail working back behind the net. And watching those red and blue lines. As here's a pass in front. The shot, the score. Cherokee Trail striking first.
Goal number 10, Lane Stoll.
So Cherokee Trail off to a quick start, scoring just 23 seconds in. As Grandview will try to work from behind here. Ball won by the Wolves. They get the face-off to start their first drive. As a foul on Cherokee Trail. Driving through, pass back behind the net now. Grandview cycling. Working back behind the net now. Back up front with DePaulo. Excuse me, that's Johnson. Johnson surveying her options. Gets it off her stick to Monson. Monson now. Into Brannon. Brannon loses it. Collects it back again. Brannon. Gets it off to Godwin. Godwin here, surveying, driving through, turning in the Jets. Godwin spins back out. She loses the ball, knocked over. Cherokee Trail picks it up. Cherokee Trail moving now. Ball picked up by Latshaw. Latshaw with speed. Latshaw driving through. Great defense from the Cougars to discourage her from trying to drive through. There's a foul on Cherokee Trail again. Sent back up to Godwin, who collects it off one bounce. Godwin patiently. Godwin driving through. Godwin won't pull the trigger. And they'll reset. Gets it off her stick to Foley. Excuse me, that's Monson. Monson back to Godwin. Godwin into Monson. Monson into Foley this time. Foley back into Godwin, who lost it. Brannon picks it up. Foul on Cherokee Trail. Quick start for the Wolves. Here comes Brannon. Brannon won't take it. Brannon going to reset back behind the net. Gets it off her stick. Looking for Johnson. Johnson back into Foley, who dropped it. Picked it back up. Foley back behind the net. Etta Brandon with it now. Gets it off her stick into Monson. Monson fight for the ball with a Cherokee Trail defender who comes up with it. Great work there by Tegan Barella. Barella now going to push the field. Sent back up. Cherokee Trail moving the other way now. Gets in front. Cherokee Trail scores. Cherokee Trail takes a 2-0 lead. Lorelei Ghiardi going to take it for the Cougars. 2-goal lead. Timeout for the Wolves after the Ghiardi goal, excuse me. While we have a minute, we'd like to tell you about a couple other features that have come out on our channel, Grandview TV. Due to no advisory, make sure you're checking our page for announcements. They're still coming out weekly. April 30th on Wednesday was a special one. Coach Mack announced her retirement. Coach Macarone, our cheer coach, announced her retirement. And her replacement, Coach Gracie, coming in to take her place as head coach. Check out a feature on that made by some of our staff members. If you missed our senior awards or the Monday Night Lights, make sure to check out our previous live streams for that type of content. But we're going to get back to action here with 8:25 left in this first quarter. Cherokee Trail sitting on a 2-goal lead. Face-off won by the Cougars. Surveying now is Beaker. Dumps it off to Stoll. Stoll works around the outside to Anderson. Surveying back behind the net. Ball in front. Ball loose. Waits on the shot. Score! Cherokee Trail strikes again. Built themselves a 3-goal lead.
Goal number 28, Abigail Van Zandt.
Van Zandt strikes for Cherokee Trail as they work themselves a 3-goal lead. .757 here as the faceoff won by the Cougars. Van Zandt, who just scored, has it on her stick. Van Zandt, patience, gonna work back out. Here's Beaker again. Gets it off her stick to Stoll. Stoll surveying, top of the key, little spin move into space, the shot, the score, Cherokee Trail as it comes in droves.
Goal number 11,
4-0 for the Cougars. .7:27 on the clock. Face off, still loose, picked up by the Cougars. Cherokee Trail with it now. Here's Stoll. Stoll, still with it. Dumps it off her stick. Gets it to Kenny. Kate Kenny, back behind the net. Nearly lost it. We'll pick it up with Lashmet. Excuse me, that's Van Zant. Van Zant gets it off her stick. The wraparound hits the top right corner. Cherokee Trail scoring it seemingly every time they touch it. Grandview coming into this contest ranked 22nd in the state, or excuse me, in 5A. The Cougars ranked 21st. Ball sent up, picked up by the Cougars again. They're doing a good job controlling the faceoffs right now, and that's why they've kind of had a lot of success, is they've just controlled the pace of play. As this ball gets back to Anderson, who will push it off to Van Zant. Van Zant surveying. Drops it off to Beaker. Driving through now. Beaker going to be pushed back out. Here she comes. Turns on the jet. Shoots and scores. Cherokee Trail again.
Goal number 11, Sophie Beaker.
So about halfway through this first quarter, Grandview in a 6-goal hole on the Cougars. Ball sent up, won by the Cougars. Latchop picks it up on the far side for the Wolves. And a foul on the Wolves, so they'll have to cough it up. Picked up here by Van Zant. Gets it off her stick into Beaker. Beaker going to wait for the reinforcements. Back around the horn now. Driving through, back behind the net. Gets it off her stick. Back in front, the shot, the score! Cherokee Trail.
Goal number 11, Sophie Beaker.
As the lead swells to 7. Game 7 is tomorrow for both the Avalanche and the Nuggets. Something to look forward to as we work into the weekend Elsewhere in the world of Grandview sports, track and field was down in Pueblo for the Pueblo Twilight tonight. Swim and dive is over at Cherry Creek for A-Leagues. And of course, girls lacrosse right here. Girls tennis has their regional playoffs up in Greeley as Cherokee Trail with the ball again. Girls tennis trying to send a couple lines to state today. As driving through, Anderson knocked off the ball, but a foul on Grandview will give Cherokee Trail a free shot here. They'll start back out on that far red line. So not a direct one. As Anderson drives through, ball knocked off her stick. Another foul on the Wolves, giving the Cougars another opportunity. Anderson driving through the shot. Rust stays strong. Ball still loose. Pick back up. Cougars going to reset as a foul on the Wolves. Under 4 minutes to play in this first quarter. As this one's a foul closer. This time it's Beaker to take. Baker. Shot. Rust gets a stick on it, tips it over the net. Great save from Anastasia Rust. Cougars with the ball now as there's a push by the Wolves. Goal will not count. 3:30 on the clock in this first quarter. Great job from Anastasia Rust to save that one. But the foul behind the net is Cherokee Trail driving through, passes it off her stick. Ball loose, picked up by Latchaw. Latchaw fumbles it. Fight for it inside, and Rust comes away with it. Whistle blows as ball picks up here. On the near side. Cougars with patience. Far side now driving through. Couple of cutters building that motion inside as here comes Guillerdi. Guillerdi fighting through contact, creating space. Great defense from the Wolves as there's a foul, a push. Autumn Morgan was in the mix for the Wolves. Great defense there, but it'll give Cherokee Trail an opportunity in the red semicircle. The shot through Rust's legs, and Cherokee Trail continues to pile it on. Garrity, the goal scorer for the Cougars. So minute 42 left in this first quarter as Grandview has yet to find the net. Beautiful Friday afternoon, cloudless from Legacy Stadium as Grandview wins the faceoff. Much different and much needed from last night where we got rain and very windy. This flag staying still. Here comes Latchaw. Latchaw, pass in front, looking for Mitchell. Ball loose, almost ended up in the back of the net, but the Cougars pick it up. What a sequence there as Otten comes away with it. Ball loose, picked up by the Wolves as there's a push. 45 seconds left. That gives the Wolves the ball in the semicircle. Looks like Brannon with it, looking to score. Patience of the shot, ball knocked loose. Picked up by Cherokee Trail. Great defensive stand from the Cougars. As here they come. Cherokee Trail trying to pick it up as there's a foul on Grandview. 10 seconds. See if the Cougars can get into scoring position and extend this drive. Cherokee Trail picked up by the Wolves, and that'll do it for the first quarter. Grandview has some work to do. Down 8-0. We'll take a minute to breathe, step aside, don't go anywhere. We'll have second quarter action live here on GVTV. Yeah, great.
I would say try to focus a little on stability than like being so close. Like I would rather sacrifice a little bit of zoom if it means being overstable. But it looks fine on my end. Like it looks fine. It looks fine, to be honest. Like I don't think you need to change too much. I mean, if you can stay zoomed in and still be stable, great, fine with me. I just don't want to, because like, I understand it's hard to follow the ball sometimes. I don't want to be extra sheet. Yeah. Just make sure you're keeping track of the ball. When in doubt, I probably told you that. I think I've heard it. And this field is going to suck because we can see that like a third of midfield is just shadowing the rest of it. So it's impossible to see. It just looks weird to the camera because it's like some of it's light, some of it's dark. Yeah, so
Second quarter action underway here. Wolves are going to try to look to complete better passes. Just stay patient, try to hang around as much as they can. As they'll switch sides here, Grandview will be shooting from right to left as Godwin with some speed. She's knocked over. She'll get the ball back. But the Wolves in white still, shooting from right to left. And the Cougars in red from left to right. Pass into the sun picked up by the Wolves back line. Got everybody on that defensive, or on the offensive end now in an effort to find some goals. As the offsides called as somebody had crossed that 30 into the box. So Cherokee Trail coughing it up. Ball picked up by the Wolves again. Gonna continue this attack. Worked over to Johnson on the far side. Back into Monson. Monson looking for Latshaw. Latshaw driving through. Gets it back out for Brannon. Brannon trying to work into Godwin. Godwin, as the ball falls down, foul on Grandview will lead to the Cherokee Trail possession. Cherokee Trail doing a good job of just kind of collapsing in the midfield, or in front of the net in the slot almost, if you will. Grandview doing a much better job in the beginning stage of this second quarter, making it difficult for Cherokee Trail to move the ball. They're going to work back over to Kenny. Kenny, great pressure. Looks like Brandon. Offsides on Cherokee Trail. As it'll be Wolves ball with 10 minutes left in this second quarter. Picked up by the Wolves here. Colstis driving through. As whistle blows. Looks like a foul on Cherokee Trail as Grandview will continue the attack here. Costis. It's pushed back out. She'll be patient. Looking for somewhere to go. Costis driving through. Costis almost had a shot on net, but a push on Cherokee Trail will lead for another free throw opportunity. So free shot opportunity. As Costis puts the shot on. Grandview finds the score sheet. Costis, the goal scorer, as Grandview on the board for the first time tonight. Grandview cutting this lead down to 7. Cherokee Trail is still sitting on an 8-1 lead. Obviously got some work to do, but it has to start somewhere. See how that affects them. Face-off important here as it's picked up by the Wolves. Latcha on the mix. Ball still loose. Cherokee Trail comes away with it, but lost it. They pick it back up. Far side now, Cougars with it. So patience. On the top of the key there, dump it up, back off. Back behind the net now. Back in front. Cherokee Trail, a quick response.
Goal number 28, Abigail Van Zandt.
As Van Zandt picks up another one. So lead back up to 8 here. The mercy rule does go into effect at 10. And it's just a running clock. as the face-off. Ball loose. Still fighting for it. Cherokee Trail trying to push it forward for the reinforcements. As the ball's knocked loose, Cherokee Trail comes away with it. Pass in front goes nowhere as the Wolves defense stands strong, and a foul on Cherokee Trail. Ball collected by Costas. Knocked off her stick, but a foul on Cherokee Trail. Long ball forward, nearly intercepted. Ball sent loose. There's a foul on Grandview. Great job from Cherokee Trail and Kenzie Winters to knock off that pass, as it falls into the stick of Finley. Finley lost it as Godwin comes away with it. Latchaw now. Foul on Cherokee Trail. Quick start for the Wolves. Latchaw with 4 defenders on her. Latchaw weaving traffic, gets it off her stick. Into Johnson. Johnson getting peppered. Johnson surveying. Trying to find Latchaw. Ends up with Brannon. Brannon surveying. Patience here, who will work into Godwin. Godwin selected to represent Colorado in the National Lacrosse Lacrosse Nationals, where she'll be playing this summer in Massachusetts. As Godwin finds space, Godwin, back of the net, Bryn Godwin. What an acrobatic play. So another one for the Wolves as Bryn Godwin just fighting her way, pushing her way through traffic. Ends up in the back of the net. Great effort from her. As Latchaw can't quite win the faceoff for the Wolves, comes away with the Cougars and Beaker. Beaker gonna slow it down. Wait for the reinforcements. Zorowski. Dumps it off here to Kenny. Kenny still surveying. Kenny back up to the top of the semicircle. Works into Beaker. Push back over to foul zone. Or work into Van Zant. Van Zant, as whistle blows, foul on Cherokee Trail. They lose possession. 5 minutes remaining here in this second quarter from Legacy Stadium. Wolves trailing the Cougars 9-2. All knocked off Costas' stick. As he's the one on the scorer's table. Clock will stop with 4:46 and as Costas continues fighting through, still with it. Works up to Godwin, fighting the sun. Comes down with it. Godwin now. Godwin Dancing around, the spin move again. Godwin, back of the net. Brandon Godwin.
Brandon Godwin.
Another acrobatic goal. And the lead is cut down to 6. Wolves starting to figure out this Cherokee Trail defense as Cherokee Trail really just baiting the Wolves into kind of this press where they come right into the red semicircle and they kind of collapse 3-4 defenders on the attacker, make it hard for anyone to do anything. But just because Godwin is so athletic and so coordinated, she's able to spin into open space where nobody really is because 4 defenders are where she used to be. Cherokee Trail win the faceoff. Weaving through, little spin move. Rust able to get in the way of that shot. Cherokee Trail still with the ball, gonna work back behind the net now. Cherokee Trail, patience, driving through. As a foul on, looks like Grandview will set up the free shot. Right on here, as finds the back of the net. Cherokee Trail with the response as Garrity, the goal scorer.
On the face-off, try to show less of the, try to actually just generally, try to keep all the action in these 6 squares as the scoreboard and the bench. Just try to keep as most of the action.
So lead back up to 7 for the Cougars. Wolves are starting to chip away at it slowly. Grandview was in a similarly matched game earlier this season against Mullen, their home opener, as they kind of got off to this slow start and then slowly but surely started to chip away at a lead. Ended up dropping that game 16-10. But made a valiant effort, and Coach Smith after the game said that if her girls can fight like that, they definitely have something to be proud of. Cherokee Trail just dancing around right now. Ends at the stick of Beaker. Still surveying here. About 2.5 minutes left in this first half. Cherokee Trail on a 10-3 lead. Ball into Kenny. Kenny, little drop step, wraparound opportunity. Russ gets in the way. As the ball picked up on the far side by Anderson. Anderson driving through now. Anderson can't get it off her stick. Ball loose, picked up by the Wolves. Still loose as it's Roland who comes away with it, fighting through contact. Here come the Wolves. Foul on the Wolves, or excuse me, foul on Cherokee Trail will be Grandview ball. Foley will start us off. It's a pass into Cozy Kina. Back into Brannon. Brannon now surveying. I mean, if you're the Wolves, you want to see it on the stick of Godwin. She has all 3 goals for the Wolves. Already a hat trick. As Latchaw gets it now. Latchaw. And there's that trap. You can see just 3 Cougars just driving in. Kind of leaves the middle of the field open if you can shake them. You can see right again there. As Johnson back behind the net. Into DePaulo. 1 minute left in this first half. Cherokee Trail on a 10-3 lead. As a poor pass, miscommunication, great recovery from DePaulo. 45 now. As the Wolves look to reset. DePaulo shaking a defender. Comes from behind, gets it knocked, will be Wolves' ball. They've got 35 now. DePaulo. Gonna work back into Johnson. Latchaw now. Knocked off her stick. Contact from the Cougars, and here they come. 25 seconds if they want to do something. Works off her stick into Beaker. Beaker gonna reset. 20 now. Ten for the Cougars. Here they come. Beaker looking into the slot. 3 seconds. Pass in front. The shot blocks, goes wide. Grandview able to survive, and that'll do it for our first half. Grandview looking much better, outscoring the Cougars 3-2. After the 8-goal opening frame, put the Cougars up 8-0. 10-3 is your halftime score. Cherokee Trail on a 7-goal lead. The Predators Cup here on GVTV. Upcoming on the Wolves' schedule. Playoffs just around the corner. In fact, this is the last regular season game for the girls lacrosse team. Baseball will be in action next week, but that's the end of the regular season for spring sports. And as the 2024-25 school year comes to an end, playoffs will be in full swing. Watch out Sunday as girls and boys lacrosse playoff brackets are seeded. Girls soccer as well. Boys volleyball has their regionals tomorrow. They're playing Denver East in Douglas County. Girls tennis, of course, regionals up at Greeley. We'll try to get you updates on which lines made it to state. Track and field has the league championships next Saturday. They have the Stutler Twilight tomorrow after playing at Dutch Clark Stadium in Pueblo today. Baseball, of course, going to have a potentially series clinching, or a league clinching series against Cherry Creek next week. That'll be for league senior night tomorrow. Well, that's happening in the Den. We'll be sure to give you updates. Check our social media at GrandviewTV and GHS Athletics as always. But we'll step aside for the next 5 minutes on this Predators Cup. And of course, my last broadcast. I'm Jake Chau here on GVTV. Second half action. Don't go anywhere. Wolves trail 3-10. Predators Cup on GVTV.
So that way we can have it ready to go. If you need to go. Yeah, but I'm still looking into the lighting is still there. Yeah. So it might be a little backlit. You're like blocking this. Still looks, yeah, there's like this one line that covers like half the face. Oh, oh, it's this, oh, it's the beard. Yeah, I see the beads. I think it'll be a little different. You see? Yeah, you can put the. So you see kind of how I'm like right like movie. That's still looking to it. We'll also see what this looks like because it might these lights might turn on. Yeah. We'll have other like cool effects. Yeah, I mean, Brandon is now. That's what the other thing is like. So anyway, just frame it like all the way through. Honestly, try to get feel close. Can I leave most of the other space right here? Might be a actually, the lighting isn't good because you can't see anything. I just don't ever to see like this kind of face. Do you care what's up? Right? But it doesn't matter that much. Actually, if Fillet shows up, I might actually have him pack so we can get out of here. Because I didn't end up using any of this system.
Second half coming back to you on GVTV. Wolves trail 10-3. As Cherokee Trail gets off to a quick start, just 8 seconds in. Up 11-3. So Grandview, despite being down 8, still feels like they're hanging around a little bit. They're not quite out of it just yet. As the face-off is picked up by the Cougars, who are still in red, shooting from right to left. And the Wolves shooting from left to right in white. Ball sent back up to Beaker, who will pass it off into Anderson. Anderson surveying. Anderson driving through. Anderson, collision on the court. A foul on Cherokee Trail. So Grandview will get the ball here. Latchaw will have it. Passing off here to O'Brien. O'Brien, excuse me, that's Uphouse who lost it. Cougars working to Beaker. Working back up with the Cougars. Back behind the net. Surveying. Here's a doorstep pass. Goes awry. Picked up by the Cougars again. They'll reset. Driving through. Patience on the shot as it goes wide. Foul on Cherokee Trail will be Wolves' ball. Or excuse me, a foul on Grandview as the shot. Rust gets a stick on it. Great defense there from Rust. As ball loose, foul on Cherokee Trail, Grandview ball. Grandview did a good job in a stretch of that second quarter, just controlling the pace of play. They didn't have complete control over it per se, but they did a much better job in that they completed a lot of their passes, and they just took a lot more time with their possessions. Instead of having to rush it, I think they're going to see more of that, just like that. Rushing that pass ended up in the turnover. Cougars going the other way now. Here comes Ghiardi in space, trying to shake a defender. The shot, Rust gets a stick on it. Anastasia Rust standing strong. Fight for the ball around the midfield mark. Excuse me, towards the center of the field. As ball loose, Mitchell fighting for it. Trying to win that ground ball. Still loose, Mitchell comes up with it. Oh, she gets pushed in the back. No foul called. Mitchell weaving through traffic. Still fighting for it. Mitchell in the mix. Great effort from Caitlin Mitchell, the junior. As Godwin with it. Godwin with speed. Godwin, the spin move. Godwin. She's fouled. Godwin just showing off the athleticism, weaving through traffic. As she'll get an opportunity to score another. Godwin. The shot. Blocked by the goalie. Cherokee Trail stays alive, keeps this one an 8-goal game. This is tied for the largest lead for the Cougars. They got out to an 8-0 run before Grandview found the back of the net. Cougars extending that, or looking to extend that here with this drive, is great defense from the Wolves. It goes out of bounds for Wolves ball. Great job from the Wolves defense there, and great effort to get that one back.
Just trying to pick up a little bit. I'll take it back. Just when you get the chance, like don't sacrifice them.
Wolves going the other way as Cherokee Trail picks it up. sent forward. Cougars with it now, into space. Sent back in front, patience on the shot, can't find a lane, gonna reset. Good job from the Wolves to force her out. Driving through the shot, off the ground, Cherokee Trail scores.
Goal number 10, Lane Stoll.
Lane Stoll the goal scorer for the Cougars. As they extend their lead to the largest it's been, 9. Again, the Mercy rule enacted at 10. Cherokee Trail with the ball still, working back behind the net. As just cycling, taking their time, being patient with 6 minutes left in this third quarter. The shot, score, Cherokee Trail.
Goal number 11, Sophie Beaker.
Now Cherokee Trail with the 10-goal lead. And clock will run now. So unless Grandview can find one to bring it back within double digits, I guess within single digits, clock will run for the rest of this game. Ball picked up by the Cougars. Cherokee Trail going now. Sent back to Ming. Driving through, creating spaces, Anderson, as a foul on Grandview will be a free shot for the Cougars. Looks like it'll be Anderson to take. Anderson, the shot, blocked by Rust. Wolves come away with it. And the foul concurs. 4:45 now. As Costas now. Driving through. Costas. Into space, Costas can't get a shot off, a foul on Cherokee Trail. A penalty. Shot that is for Costas. 4 minutes left in this third quarter. Costas, the shot. Stopped by the keeper. Looks like Haley Hooms in net for the Cougars. Able to put a stop to it. sent forward. Cherokee Trail with it. Ball sent forward into the slot. The shot blocked by Rust. Still fighting for it, the Cougars. Ball sent forward. Rust comes out, collects. Great vision there from Anastasia Rust. It's a foul on Cherokee Trail. The quick start with the Wolves. Roland will take. Trying to work back to her keeper, Rust. Working back to Finley now. Finley gets it off her stick into Costas. Costas. As there's a foul. Costas will take. Driving through. Costas. Patience is a foul on Cherokee Trail. Latchaw will get it. Working into Contardo. Wolves come away with it into space. Latchaw looking for a lane as a foul on Cherokee Trail. Latchaw will take this free shot. As poor pass. Johnson can't quite pick it up. Ground ball scooped up by the Cougars. Minute 15 in this third quarter. As timeout for Cherokee Trail. They'll talk it over. 63 seconds left in this third quarter. Grandview trailing the Cougars 13-3.
How's it going? Going good. How was your thing? Good. What was it for? One of the DC scholarships that we got. It's pretty bad. That's still pretty cool. Thanks for showing up. Final live stream with Jake Chau. I thought others would be. Nobody cares. I had nothing to do. I didn't want to do anything. Jack wanted to hang out and they were learning papers, so I didn't want to. And all their schools work throughout the year.
No, that's valid, but like, high school still isn't over yet.
Yeah.
You still have another 4 days.
Well, it's just APs now. So
That is true.
yeah, Josh, you doing that?
I am.
With your shoes, shirt, and watch matching.
Yeah.
Nothing matching on me.
Just like a normal.
We're normal. Still looking sharp as always. Thank you very much. Thank you. At the end, you should be like,
That's why I have this set up.
oh yeah, what is this gonna be?
We're gonna make cuts in the shot. It's off right now. So it's out there. I don't know. We're gonna frame it in a minute. We tried to frame it and it didn't look great, so we're gonna just.
Just third quarter?
Yeah.
I thought I missed the game. Yeah, I thought it started at 7 and you always told me an hour before.
No, it starts at 6.
Oh. But you said, I asked what time and you said 6.
Oh, like 6 game time.
Yeah, I thought you said get here at 6.
Yeah, you still got here now.
I told you I was going to be late.
It's okay. And they're usually quick games.
Coming out of the Cherokee Trail timeout. 13:03 left in this contest, a minute 3 in the quarter. Cherokee Trail with the ball. We'll see what the Cougars and Coach Blake Macklin drew up in the huddle. Ball loose, picked up by the Cougars. Back behind the net. Looking for this last shot, pass in the front of the net, goes nowhere. Ball loose, still not out. Fighting for it. The Wolves come away with it. They got 15 to do something. Got to go quick, 10 now. Passing it up, looking for Monson. Monson loses a ground ball picked up by the Cougars, and that'll do it for this third quarter. Grandview trailing the Cougars 13-3.
So you see on the left side the team score. Don't click on the button yet, but just click on the little thing on the left side.
Is this it?
There's so many concerts.
You go to all the concerts.
Yeah, everybody goes to concerts. They're always like our best live stream.
Really?
Because there's like
I stopped going to concerts because everyone goes to concerts.
Because everybody needs an event when it comes to the school.
And nobody wants to do sports because it's hard.
It is a little bit. But football's always packed. Like I always have so many people show up.
But football is so fun. Even if we didn't find football,
This is closer to
yeah, remember that? That game was great. Yeah. This is the first time more than one over the required. Yeah, the second one extra. Because the tennis game under this. You know? Did you like the commentary in the tennis game? That was good.
it was better than mine because I didn't know what I was doing.
The final quarter in the Predators Cup, 13-3 is your score.
Hit the square on the other one. Here we go. Like soccer.
Cherokee Trail wins the faceoff. They're going from left to right after the field swap. Pass in front, in the slot, back of the net. Cherokee Trail strikes.
Goal number 11, Sophie Beaker.
Sophie Beaker getting the goal scoring started for the Cougars. As Mercy Rule in full effect. Clock continuing to tick down despite the Cougars scoring the goal. The Cougars win the faceoff again. They'll circle back up top. Picked up here by Zarowski. Gets it off her stick with 10 minutes left. Pass back behind the net. In front, and there's a foul on Grandview. We'll get a free shot for the Cougars, another one. Past Russ says Cherokee Trail strikes again. Oh, 15-3 now the score. A 12-goal lead has swelled. Grandview had a glimpse of hope in that second quarter. They lost the first quarter 8-0 and then won the second quarter 3-2 before losing the third quarter 3-0. See what they do here. Back in front of the net. Oh, couldn't quite complete the pass as the ball is knocked loose. Out of bounds for Wolf's ball. So Lacho will have it. Looking for Kozinkina. Weaving through traffic, couple defenders on her. She keeps going. Up past midfield, gets it off her stick into Monson. Monson, patience, back to Kozikina. Having some trouble with the ball on the far side. Cougars capitalize, come away with it. Cherokee Trail with it again. Sent back up top. Cougars just taking their time with it now as it's at the top of the semicircle. Nearly lost it. Ball knocked loose here. Locked loose again. Wolves going the other way. Here's Costas. As it's Wolves' ball. Costas takes it past midfield on the quick start. Driving through, Costas nearly losing her balance, able to stay on her feet. Costas still with it. Works into Godwin. Top of the semicircle here is Godwin. Godwin gets it off her stick into Latchaw. Latchaw off her stick. Back behind the net still. as the whistle blows. Still Wolves ball. Little wraparound opportunity. Pass in front. Latchaw. The shot. Oh, man, she's knocked off. Will be a penalty for a free shot for the Wolves. Hooms has looked good so far tonight on the free shot opportunities. Has only let in one on, if memory serves correct, 3 opportunities. As Latchaw trying to use the ground as an assist, won't work. Ball loose, still loose, up in front. Scramble as the Cougars come away with it. Hooms comes out. Wolves ball here as they're buzzing now. And it gets brought back for the quick start. Foley gets it off her stick. Brannon looking. Trying to work into Godwin. Godwin now. Godwin trying to show off the athleticism. Godwin spinning through into space as there's a foul on Cherokee Trail. A free shot for the Wolves. Godwin now. The shot. Back of the net. Grandview scores.
Goal number 5.
Bryn Godwin, the goal scorer for the Wolves. As time still ticks away, the mercy rule still in effect, but the lead cut down to 11.
So
3 minutes left in this contest. Face off as there's a foul and a yellow card assessed to Lauren Latchaw. She'll come off. Clock will stop with 2:42 on the clock. And the Cougars will be a man up here. As Beaker driving through. Patience looking for a lane. Rust is there to get the save. Rust works out, dishes it to Roland. Roland. Work back to Costas. Costas on the quick start. Here they come. 2 minutes left in this one. Back to Godwin, who will survey. Wolves reset. 90 seconds left in this contest. Cougars up 11, 15-4. Godwin using athleticism. Players collapse and she's fouled. "75 seconds now as Godwin looks to bring the lead to 10. The shot, Godwin, back of the net again. Bryn Godwin, have yourself a night.
Goal. Number 5, Bryn Godwin.
And potentially, definitely, too little too late as the Wolves trail the Cougars 15-5. Don't go anywhere because, again, it's my last broadcast. 30 seconds left. As there's some confusion on the face-off. So our clock's still a little ahead here, but won't matter too much as we wind down to the final seconds of this Predators Cup. Pass in front, Russ comes up with it. Five seconds. As that'll do it, the Cherokee Trail Cougars are gonna win the Predators Cup. Don't go anywhere. We'll try to have some post-game comments for you as you get the celebrations. As that'll conclude this game, but don't go anywhere. We're going to have, again, a couple of comments here. As we're trying to get you up here in the press box. As we'd like to welcome you up into the press box for one last final broadcast for myself. I just want to thank the Grandview community because being a Grandview Wolf means having pride in your community, and I have so much pride for everything that everyone has brought to me. And I've just been so grateful to give back to you in this way and to bring the Grandview Wolves into your home. The past 4 years have been tumultuous with wins and losses, being on the sidelines for some of the greatest opportunities in my life, state championships, Final Fours, and just memories that will be with me for the rest of my life. As the celebrations on the field behind me continue, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for letting me bring the Grandview Wolves into your home. So for one last final time, I'm Jake Chau, and for Grandview TV, it's not "we will see you next time," but I hope to see you again. For one final farewell, I'm Jake Chau, reporting for Grandview TV.